Waking up again, seriously.
Wait on me? Sure. We're good to go.
The high sign.
You're good.
Okay, captions, everything's good?
Yep.
Okay, I make a motion, we open the meeting. Is there a second? Oh, yeah, quick second.
Okay, trustee Lembeck.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, the meeting is now open. Is there any board member with a conflict of interest or anything to disclose regarding tonight's agenda items?
I have none.
I do not.
I do not. I do not.
I do not. Okay, with that being said, would the clerk please give us the open meeting compliance guidelines?
Okay, just gonna keep it simple. If you wish to ask the board a question, please raise your hand, give your name and address, or come to the podium or you're seated. If you're online, please raise your hand if you wish to speak to the board. If you would like me to ask the question, please put it in the,
Q&A?
I'd say Q&A, but it looks like they removed my Q&A. Either in Q&A or chat, I will look. And then I will ask the board the question. Outside of that, I look forward to a next quick meeting so we can still see the sun.
Okay, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please, and I'm asking trustee Limbeck to lead us in the pledge this evening.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we're now open for public comment. Anyone? Is there anyone online? Oh, a hands up. Sorry, I didn't see you there, Chris.
Chris Tartaglia, 20 Washington Road. I would just like the board and the mayor to know that I submitted a formal expression of interest this afternoon for either board position. I respectfully ask that my interest and qualifications please be considered before any appointments are made.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your input. Anyone else? Anyone online, Dorothea, that has something to, yep.
Okay, you may address the board.
Hi, this is Dadaha. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, hi, Dottie.
Hi, I live on Water Drive in Pittsford. I am wanted to make a comment about our Frederick Douglass location discussion. As Pittsford Community President, our board has agreed to help with the fundraising or lead the fundraising efforts for the statue once it is placed in public. So as soon as we either get a temporary location or a permanent location, hopefully tonight, and the statue is out, will take on leading the efforts to fundraise. Our board has approved that.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
for letting us know that. Yeah, I think it's going to be hopefully a community-wide effort and we'll get things going. Thank you very much for that. Are there any other public comments?
No, we do not.
Okay. Okay, then why don't we start in on our reports for each department. Building inspector, Steve, you sent it out to everybody, right? Did everybody see? Did you have any questions?
Sorry, behind or late, I was gone, so.
Steve actually had a vacation, so, yeah. So if there's anything for him or, well,
Well, I guess just generally, it's always good to get an update periodically on 75 Monroe. Where are we with that? How's it going? Is it stage 2 now?
They're getting towards closing out building number 1 right now. They're I got a call today, they're supposed to schedule the fire alarm, test this week sometime. I witnessed part of the blower door test, the other part went on when I was not, when I was gone. We're working on some of the, finer details of the sewer system and the storm system. Scott's involved with that, the easements and that stuff, so they're working towards, they're hoping by the end of this month to have a final on building one.
Okay, and then we may actually start to see tenants this fall.
Pardon?
We may see tenants, people
Yeah,
this fall.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
I mean, they've already leased some of the places, so.
Mhm.
I find it to be very interesting with all the major construction that's still going on there.
Sure.
But,
Okay, so thanks.
as long as they keep it safe.
Thank you.
Steve, thank you very much for asking the owner of the luxury apartments to remove that big billboard sign off of the lawn. I really appreciate doing that. The posts are still there. Does he need to remove those as well? I mean, I don't know why they would still stand there if he's not able to put that big sign up.
They're concreting in, so he's gonna end up cutting them down.
And he knows, and he's.
And he questioned me about the power side, so I'm assuming he's going to probably leave one there and have the legal side signed for leasing.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, anything else for Steve? Welcome back. I know you're diving back in. Yeah, thank you. Okay, next up, we have our DPW Superintendent, Jason. Thank you for submitting your report. You guys have been busy. I mean, we've had so much rain and so many storms and, it's been keeping you guys busy.
Yeah, a lot of rain over the events.
Yeah,
This year's been a lot of storm cleanups last week, so.
yeah. One question, because this actually is about, the 75 Monroe project. So they're getting ready to hand over the, pump out of pump station? Okay,
Yeah, that's, it's, the functionality of it is complete. They are actively using, like, they can allow their toilets within building one to flow into that.
okay,
We've tested it, we've flooded it down. With, Steve, myself, Scott, we've all made sure that
Thank you.
everything is working the way it's supposed to, so. I mean, there's really not much going on as far as their activity with
Yeah.
being used, very minimal at this point. As it increases, we'll change the frequency of inspection. As occupancy starts to increase.
and then I know they're gonna be bringing the software, the monitoring software online. So we're factoring that in, and that's monitoring software to take care of that station and also Wood Creek.
Eventually, it'll be Wood Creek and two of our three sites.
Okay, okay.
Remotely monitored. We'll still manually inspect, we always have to
Yeah.
manually inspect, but
Mhm.
facilities give us warning signs if there's
Another-
trouble below.
Another layer of protection, actually, with the monitoring, remote monitoring. Okay.
Jason, I have a couple questions. I've gotten a couple comments from residents about the every other week brush pickup, and I didn't realize it was because people weren't putting things out and you thought that it was kind of a waste to do it every week. Is that have a time limit? When fall comes, will you start to go back to weekly?
Realistically, I'd say by September, it's just because July, August really is go time for us. We have just a number of, construction projects going on and working with contractors and, with a 5 to 6 person crew, when we have to send 2 people to go flag this. And another 2 people that will haul materials for another crew, that leaves 1 person to do.
We saved $16,000 by providing flagmen instead of hiring.
It's a substantial cost for flagging other than, so, us minimal to do that for 2 weeks versus what we've been.
Great, thank you. That's important for us to know.
Oh, go ahead.
Another question real quick.
I have one.
That beautiful historic sign that's supposed to be, that's somewhere stored in DPW. Where are we on the process of putting that up?
We can't put it where it was because the state, when they redid the sidewalk there, between Reddish Road.
Which sign is this?
That historic sign that says,
Oh,
in the village,
yes,
it's coming
yeah,
from
yeah.
Nazareth
Yeah.
Way.
Mhm.
It's, when they repaved, I can't remember what year it was, maybe 16 to 18, I wanna say, maybe a little bit later than that. They also did a sidewalk project, and they raised everything up. And because of that, the height of the sign and the way that it hangs is way too low for clearance. And I believe the trouble also was that we can't just remove the pole and move it down the yard because it may be that a neighbor doesn't want it in their yard, or you know, et cetera, et cetera. So we may need to find a new location for it somewhere within the entryway of the north.
Yeah, let's take a look at
of the
that.
Village line. We've looked around a little bit, but I may be that we just ask for an easement to place it in someone's yard, and, you know, obviously we'll take care of it and make sure that it's. So,
Yeah, yeah. So, there was something I was just gonna ask you about. It was about, went out of my head right now. Did you have a question?
Yeah,
Go ahead, you go ahead and I'll try to remember what I was thinking of.
So two quick questions. In the roadwork section where it talks about cleaning the catch basins, post like all the rain. Did that include, I know that there is one, I believe it's a catch basin on East Jefferson on the south side, it's in Rand and East Key Terrace. Kind of bows down a little bit right over the creek or the little like creek area,
that's a troublesome one.
because it is turned into like a pond. When it
Yes.
really rains, like people are like,
And I think you can make a mistake on that to give us some assistance, because what really needs to happen is that you have an apron around it.
Yeah.
And it's just grassy material right away. So,
Okay,
it's almost nearly impossible to keep clean, but it does directly shoot straight down to the creek, which is a benefit that at least it's, you know, directly down, whereas it had to travel through a series of pipes to have one with that, no problem. So, fortunately it drains, it's just that it gets clogged up with material around the base of it.
and it only seems to happen when it's that like torrential
Torrential.
rain.
and
Yeah.
big event.
So we might be able to put, you know, some material there just as a temporary fix. I've been talking with the state of, you know, road projects going on, so it might be, I can make an overlap this in the world of other projects.
And then the other thing, it looks like on South Street, coming from Bushnell Basin, you put the new speed entry in there.
Mhm.
I've heard from some neighbors that they're very happy
Yeah.
about that, so.
Yeah, that's been a primary focus until we can get the other 2 units offline. So for now, we'll still rotate, but that'll still get, you know, taken down to recharge and go back up.
Oh, I do have another question. So the green paving on the crosswalks, amazing, love it, right? Love, love, love. It's different on the state streets, right? So State Street, even though there's a crosswalk, we can't paint that green. Can we ask for forgiveness? I mean, they're so amazing, right? They're so amazing and they make such a huge difference and they're so visual, like. Could I take the blame? They can call me.
Part of the mayors, will you tell me what to
We were
do?
talking about the green crosswalks and how great they are in the village, and I was wondering if there's any way we could push to get that one on State Street
We'd love to.
colored.
Yeah, like, is there no like fast track though with the state when it comes to it? Like, we're willing to do it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Honestly, yes.
There could be.
We've had an issue, South Main Street where somebody's been parking because of the way that the parking lanes were. We've come up with a solution to it, but when I contacted the state about that, they were like, we're not funding enough to do anything. You can't do X, but you can do Y and Z. You're welcome to do that if you have the means. Okay, so usually it's a phone call conversation, but with something like this, they may want a little bit more review on it. So I'll take some photos of the ones we have, send an email along to their team and just say, here's what we want to do. To a few select crosswalks within the village on the state road, see what they say.
Oh, great, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And, yeah, go ahead.
One more thing on that entryway sign,
Sorry.
we did look at an idea of potentially adding a section of pole to
Mhm.
the base,
Mhm.
which would increase the height by 24 inches, which is what we need for clearance, the additional 24. I just didn't know about the historical background, it's just a steel pole.
I think, so.
We can paint it black and you can put a detail around it.
Yeah,
So that's another option. I forgot to mention that we have the idea of it. If it's something that everybody approves of, then we'll go on.
I would love to
It's
move
just
forward and do that.
basically
It's cheap, it's the cheapest way to do it,
Yeah.
right there. You don't have to go through all the different types of
Right. Okay.
approvals. Okay.
Everybody go.
Deputy Mayor, which was.
Go right ahead.
These are low priority items, but just wanted to make it work. On the entry sign at South Main Street, there's a bush that is grown up that needs to be trimmed because of blocking the sign.
Yeah. It's,
And then the other thing is, there's a major cleanup, and I think it's also the north end of the site and that's in between the canal and one of the office buildings at Stall's Office Park. That area, and it's not your fault. We had it all trimmed down, and that's an area that if there ever was a plug sewer or on the main that goes to Van Lair, That's where the equipment will need to get, so a long-term maintenance item will be to trim all the brush that's coming up.
Where is
And keep that, it's up on the hump. If you go from the end of the DPW lot towards.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, up there, it's all overgrown now, and that really keeps coming down, so it's always something, very little.
I will talk with Saul, because he was actually gonna help us out with it.
Oh, good.
There's a gentleman here, just simply about. Anything we need, he is really, open to it, so he'd be happy to go do that for us, and if we can remove the material.
Yep.
He can help us kind of guide his equipment's a little smaller, and we'll do that, so,
So how would we approve moving forward with that option of the DPW extending the pole? I don't know if the mayor heard that, or do you want to just talk to the mayor because she might just be able to
yes,
approve that?
the option we have is separating the pole as well as the entryway sign. And
Or-
putting an extension on
The
it, for the
entrance of
north
that.
sign, coming into the village, that's not in place right.
Okay, why don't we take that offline and put it on as an action item?
Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect.
that'd be great. Also, can you just sort of give us kind of a wrap up on where we are with Sutherland, because I know we're closing out
Yep.
phase one.
The anticipated start date to do a temporary layover pave from Lincoln to Jefferson should start the 17th, the week of the 17th, and they'll also pave over the lower half from Lincoln to Monroe, where the cutout sections are. They pave those over the binder until next year when they do the full rebuild. If for whatever reason their schedule doesn't allow or weather doesn't allow, they'll ship to the week of the 24th.
Okay,
So that'll be wrapped up, that they'll be out of there.
well, that's great.
The only variable would be parking on the upper half from Lincoln to Jefferson. We would have no parking while they have no machines in there doing their work, but the lower half, it'll be just a couple of locations where the catch basin sits within a parking space. Will block that off so they can pave it.
Okay.
So we won't put signs out for that, which
Mhm.
hopefully people respect that. and not
It's limited.
Throw them in the yard again.
Okay, thank you for that.
Before we finish up with Jason, I just wanted to bring up, we've got one piece of equipment, the tool cat. And we use that for an awful lot of things, but one of the primary uses is for plowing the sidewalks. And it's too big to plow most of our sidewalks. And if you remember last year, we had, I want to say more than several situations where it slid off of the sidewalk and put our guys at risk. And we almost had one accident, serious. So what we did is, there is a different unit, the Bobcat L28, that we did put in the budget, and we had it budgeted for $35,000. Well, with all of the influences on material, that's gone up to 51,000. So I'd like the board
Wow.
to give approval for Dorothea to look and see if she could find that approximately $17,000 that we need. We don't have to buy it right away, but it's something that we should consider perhaps if we've got the funds. Just to keep the crew safe. Still can do a myriad of operations, but if, this one would come with a blade and a blower. And it can still do a lot of the other functions that it would need. So,
Is that the cost brand new?
Yeah.
yeah, there, Jason found a used one for 25,000, but it was more rust than it was metal, so.
What's the value of our current one and would you sell
Toolcat we use for other purposes, right? Our Parks Department and Gardener uses that almost year round for many other functions. This tool would mainly take on plowing, but it also would help us with the additional planting trees, things like that, things that be automate on it. And not have to steal the machine from our Parks Department who, it's a battle midday. It's like, hey, we need the machine for this. And he's like, well, I'm still doing that. So it's become ongoing back and forth. And I feel like this is probably a good solution. I did find a unit, new unit, it's the L23. So it's about 44,000.
Okay.
So we shut it down. So that's more reasonable.
Okay, so let's make that an action item then. Does the board agree with that? Just to, between you and Dorothea?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
definitely natural with some of the other things.
Okay.
Can we
Okay,
do this on last year?
Yeah.
Can we do this on last year?
Excuse me.
No.
I'm sorry to interject, but I have a question about the agenda and.
yeah, okay, normally, we have the agenda here.
Right.
And we're going through our DPW report now on the agenda.
And
And usually I wouldn't recognize somebody because this is just part of the board transacting business, but what is your question?
I think I was supposed to have spoken during the public comment period and misunderstood. That's why I stood up in the middle of your meeting item, so I apologize. It's with respect to the property next door, 25 North Main Street.
Re- Why don't we circle back? We need to just close some of these things out. Okay,
Thank you.
I'm all set.
okay.
So your question was the timing or?
Yeah, I mean, it's this year.
It's this year,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you have last year's final.
Just asking for everybody else's.
Asking for a friend, right?
Asking for a friend.
Okay.
I did just have a couple quick questions. The planter that's in front of what will be the new Irish pub got sort of disconnected off of its. Is that
I've
fact?
spoken with the owner
Okay.
and about fixing it again. And they gotta come up with a better solution. I know that will not survive for the new establishment.
Do you know if, in regards to the new establishment, if that'll go through a site plan with the planning and zoning board, or are they intending to just maintain those as they were?
Maintain the parking lot the way it is, but I told them they need better protection for the sidewalk if they're going to allow parking.
Okay, so it might ultimately end up coming back to the plan.
And isn't that planter on Nice Stop property? Doesn't it cut through there?
Yeah, technically,
Yeah.
it's state property.
I know, that's kind
Yeah,
of a
it's a
thing.
weird angle to the
Mhm.
parking lot.
Okay, follow up on the stop sign. Jason, have you heard from the neighbor who had concern about the blinking stop sign into their living room? If that turning it helped?
I haven't heard anything specifically
Okay.
from the neighbor, but we've put it through a few times, really, late at night, just double check it.
You've got him an email.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just-
Yeah, just follow it up. Yep, that's what
Just
they
asking.
do. Yeah.
And then the other question was the small trees in front of St. Louis that are basically growing like toothpicks. Are those on the
Yes,
replacement for this year or next?
this fall.
This fall, great.
Yeah, so we'll have, 4 to 5 on South Main Street. We're replacing a few other ones that are similar to that. There's probably another 5 of those, and then we have a few new locations for trees. So this fall will be a heavy planting. We're gonna try to squeeze it in here late spring, but we just got too busy with other,
Yep, that's fine.
questions, so.
And also, just so people understand, when you take down a really large street tree or something comes down, you don't necessarily can plant a tree there right away. So can you just talk about that? Like what that's, you circle back.
Yeah, I mean, we try to give it, 6 months to a year before we plant, after we stump grind. Really, it's the stump grinding that causes the issue, because the soil just isn't ready for a tree yet. It's heavy in one, chemical versus another. I think it's nitrogen. And it causes the trees not to have any nutrients, it starves them to death. So we give the ground some time, we till in some good soil.
Recover.
Yeah, and let those wood chips and other things break down a little bit, and let the season kind of take its toll. And then, we'll try to shift it, obviously, a little bit one way or another based on what that stuff was originally.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, so the replanting doesn't necessarily happen right away, and I think that's just what we want our residents to understand, because the canopy management in the village are thousands of trees. So we're circling around.
Got
Yeah.
many Norways, which unfortunately the Norway maples are, as you can see now, take a ride down any street. They're dropping their leaves already, they're curling up, they just don't do well to, all the elements.
Backyard.
Oh, yeah.
The,
all the stress.
There's a specific process during wet
Excuse me.
seasons.
Okay, yep, we're talking.
I had one other question, and it was relative to your report. So thanks this year for spending so much time with the entryway planting areas right in the middle. My question, I'm not a gardener, there's some in the room. The question might be, is there any way to plant more heavily dense materials that would take some of the time that you spent on this year away, that could be more consistent through the year?
Yeah.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Name and address?
Yeah, in other words, really what's happening is these beds are being recovered and we're getting there. We're doing resuppression,
Okay.
it's a process. So-
Great.
But that's a great question to ask.
Save some time, maybe it means a small investment, but it might save some time.
Yeah, and there are
Yep.
some plants now that have gone in that will eventually, you gotta give it time to grow.
Great.
And we'll obviously flood with more widespread ground cover that can be there and do the same kind of thing, but we also want to be native friendly and also make sure that we have a good, aesthetic to it.
I have another question. The new median on State Street. was that do we do the planting?
No.
Did we do the, so we don't have any jurisdiction over that section?
Nope.
Okay, but we do near 75 Monroe,
Hmm.
or no?
75 Monroe.
That median,
Oh, the new one that went in.
yeah.
Yeah, that was installed by Wayside on behalf of DBS, and then we have taken ownership of that now, so we're responsible for weeding it, watering it, making sure that it succeeds from here on out.
Because I'm just wondering, why don't we plant trees in those? I mean, talk about traffic calming,
It's all.
flag,
It's stone. underneath.
it won't handle.
It's not particularly tree friendly. Yeah, it would stress out a tree.
We're in charge of that? For some reason, I didn't.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, how come we just?
Because it was a negotiation with the developer who's currently putting in Westport Crossing at 75 Monroe as sort of a mitigation. They have something that was traffic calming coming over the bridge. Yeah.
So they built it, we maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the agreement.
That was in the agreement. Yep. Okay.
Thanks, Jason.
Mhm.
Great work.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for
Appreciate it.
putting in, the fact that you're getting such good feedback and, I've been getting the great feedback too from our residents that the village is really looking wonderful.
Yeah,
You've
we
been
get
hopping.
a lot of compliments and a lot of people stop us all the time. It's good to hear that because, as much criticism as we get, people at first point fingers before they give a compliment. And it's so much easier to give a compliment than to do anything else, just be nice. to people. We're out here all the time and it really affects the crew. They have a lot of pride in this village.
They
And
do.
we have a really solid crew that cares about the village and really wants to make it right. So they put their time in, they want to stay late. They're willing to do
Yeah.
that. This is the first time, and as far as I can remember, that's happened. So
Yeah,
we want to keep that ball rolling in
I
the right
know.
direction.
it's a good team. You're our
And good
ambassadors,
management, so.
our ambassadors in orange, as I say. Okay, so we're done with these reports and we've had a request. I guess someone didn't speak during the public comment. I bring it back to the board. Would you be interested in hearing their comment?
Sure.
Everybody? Sure. Okay, that's the process. Okay, so go ahead, please, your name and address.
I apologize, I did not understand at all, obviously. So I will try to be brief. Good evening, thank you for your time. I'm Susan Wiley and I'm here with my business partner, John Kircher. We are the owners of the rental property that's immediately adjacent to this building at 25 North Main Street. Look out the window and see it, of course. So the purpose of our request tonight is to seek reimbursement of the amount that the village has assessed for trash and recycling collection services for the residents of 25 North Main, as part of the annual property tax bill. And we're also requesting suspension of this assessment going forward. The background is that last December 2nd of 2025, the house experienced a very severe fire. And Mr. Louth was there himself on the night of the fire. He immediately ordered the tenants to evacuate, which they did, and instructed that the utility services be cut off to the building, which certainly was taken care of. As is apparent, the building was boarded up. The residents have not returned, so the building has not been occupied since the night of the fire. And repairs have been ongoing since that time. And as I believe you know, last year, Mayor Plummer sent a letter to all village residents. There was no ordinance, code, or other legal basis cited in the letter, but it was stated that a determination had been made that all village residents would be assessed for tax collection, trash collection services as part of annual property bills. There was no opportunity to opt out, of course, to that determination or to provide any type of notice at the time the letter was sent. So the letter was sent to residents of the village and concerns residents of the village. And is clearly since December of last year, there have been no residents at 25 North Main. There's been no trash service that has been provided. There are no bins that are placed at the end of the driveway. The trucks have not stopped there. Based on the words of the mayor's letter, the trash and recycling services are to be provided for residents of the village. Well, there are no residents there. So there really have been no resources expended at all for trash pickup at the property. since last year. However, the taxes have been fully paid, including the assessment for the trash pickup. So for these reasons, Mr. Kircher and I are requesting reimbursement of the amount of that assessment for the trash and recycling since the date of December 2nd of last year. And we feel that a denial of the request would really just enrichment in favor of the village and to the detriment of the taxpayers, given that the village has charged and fully collected the assessment for a service that has not been provided. So in other words, there's really not any quid pro quo for the payment that we've made. And we would request a suspension of the service going forward for the upcoming tax year. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I would like to say, I think you may have missed some of, I think we've had more than maybe 9 public meetings about the refuse district and public hearings as well. So, which culminated in a letter going out based on a decision by this board and public input. So, I just wanted to correct that for the record, and I appreciate your comments and coming in and coming forward. I think what we would do, if the board would consider that we take this under advisement with our attorney.
What is the amount that's being requested?
It would be pro rata, and I failed to calculate that. It would probably be around $300, somewhere between.
I would like to see you tell you. So
Yeah, we can get you that calculation.
Would you provide very specific information as to what you're looking for, and then we can bring it under advisement of legal counsel?
We can do that. I should have done that
Okay,
calculation.
yes, that's all right. Yeah. Okay, thank you. for
Thank you
making
so
that work.
much.
Thank you.
That's all.
Just a real quick question. Are we not anticipating re-renting the property?
Yes, at some point.
You will re-rent it.
Yes.
Okay, because
But
I
it's
still
under
understand
repair,
the
so-
suspension of the service.
Well, that's part of their request.
No, I just want.
Yeah, yep. So that's what they're saying.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
So, yeah, what do we do?
So we'll talk about this after a discussion with the attorney. You'll convey to him the request from the resident or from the.
And they're gonna provide us
the
with
owner.
additional information.
He'll provide some information. We'll talk about it in
Yep.
closed session.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. Yep. Okay. So that being said, next up is our. Oh, it's after, yeah, why don't we do public hearings first, just to get those out of the way? Good point. Is this one? Okay, yep, you're right, because it's after 6:30. Bing, bing. Okay. So why don't we start, we'll switch it. The special permit for 50 State Street Building K, the spa services. Hello, how are you?
Yep.
Fine, thank you. Welcome.
I'm Sarah Lanitz. I own Relax West. I'm opening a Joan Place in 50 State Street. I am a relaxer. I do skincare and makeup, and usually you see about 1 to 2 clients per day, 1 to 2 clients at a time. And I am looking for my special permit to be approved.
Okay, you folks have the information
Yep.
in here. Are there any questions that we have?
His hand up, which might be.
Pardon me?
Steve had his hand up.
So I just wanted to say that the use is basically, that there was a hairdresser and skincare there. So the use
Okay.
did not change for the space.
Not a significant change.
And this is a space below neutral ground.
Yes, a lot of hand side on the.
Around and underneath.
Yeah.
Yep. Across from Pittsford Lumber.
And you have on-site trash to the degree that there isn't.
Yes, they do have on-site trash, for us to utilize.
Okay, is there a motion to open the hearing?
Make a mo-
No?
I make a motion to open the public hearing for the special permit for 50 State Street Building K Spa Services.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Marshall,
Aye.
trustee Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, the public hearing is now open on this matter. Thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak regarding the specific matter? Anybody online?
No comments online.
And I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I second.
Roll call?
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck,
Aye.
trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, the hearing is now closed. It's back before the board. Any questions or motions?
I have none.
I make a motion to approve the application as submitted.
Second.
Peter?
Aye.
Trustee Welts.
Aye.
Trustee Co.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay.
Welcome.
Hey, thank
Best of
you.
luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, a hearing on the local law amending chapter 176. This is part of the sidewalk safety initiative. Any comments or questions from the board? Thanks to everybody for all their work and thank you for taking the initiative and pulling it together for all these months.
Almost a year.
I know,
Yes,
I know.
great work there, Dave.
One thing about government, we move at a really rapid snail's pace.
I'll make a motion to open a public hearing.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Welts.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
Aye.
Trustee Co.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, the public hearing is now open. Is there anyone wishing to comment on this matter? Crickets. Okay, online, anybody?
Nobody.
Okay, no one's online and no one is commenting here. So motion.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Okay. Trustee Co.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Welts.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay,
Any final questions, guys?
I just wanted to say, through all the public comment and all the efforts of the board in getting to this spot, it's nice to arrive and have no public comment, which either means everybody agrees with the legislation.
Very good.
But then put
very
the,
thoughtful.
Very thoughtful, yeah, sure.
but either way, I think it's a good step in the
Yeah,
right direction. So.
Great.
Okay, is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the amendments to chapter 176, article 10.
Second.
Discussion. Did we need to amend it to do anything with regards to the?
No,
No.
because that'll have to be a nice
Okay,
discussion.
okay, fair enough.
Real quick, since the attorney is here, do they need secret for the local law?
For the sidewalk.
Yes. Give me 2 minutes to think about this.
And while he's thinking about it, we need to waive the other.
Ask our attorney.
Oh, good point.
Thank you.
Right, two?
Motion for the
I'll
board.
I'll make a motion that we declare this a type 2 unlisted action.
Do we need to close out
Hang
the
on, we
first?
have to close out
We
the
got
first
one
one.
other motion, though.
Never mind.
I think we can amend your motion to include that.
I was gonna say, is that okay? We're
I will
talking-
withdraw your motion.
Okay,
Do secret,
And then go back.
then adopt.
Okay,
Okay, to waive the LWRP.
WRP.
To make sense, just to do it, doesn't hurt anything.
yeah,
You don't have the power to waive it.
no, we don't. You're right.
good.
And Dave, Dave, so close.
You're the man here.
No, it's type 2, you don't have to, WRP.
Good.
Oh,
It's dating now.
I could sleep tonight.
Dating now.
Okay, so withdraw.
Right, John.
John's got to do the secret.
No, I'll let David do.
Withdraw.
Oh, you can add secret into the motion.
Oh,
No, no, but I think we want to do separate. So withdraw the first.
Oh, we want secret separate,
Okay.
you're right.
And then I make a motion to classify this as a type 2.
Second.
Okay,
Okay. Trustee Co.
aye.
Trustee Wills. Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
aye.
Motion passes.
I make a motion to adopt the amendment to chapter 176, article 10.
Second.
Oh. Okay. Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Trustee Co.
Aye.
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye,
Motion passes.
all right.
I'll make a motion.
Finally. Have a nice,
I didn't know we said that.
nice beverage right here, huh?
No, nice work.
You're lucky in a second.
Okay, well, we want to do the village election survey, public count of the results. Um, everybody it's all closed out in terms of our survey for regarding any of our registered voters in the village who wish to respond regarding changing the election date. Either keeping it as March or changing it to June or to November. And what happens under New York State municipal law, and our attorney can chime in at any point, but we need to put this to a public referendum to be able to change the date. And you can't have multiple choice on a public referendum. It has to be an up or down, yes or no vote. So I think really what would come out of this, if there's a date that seems that our residents would want, that date would go on the public referendum, one would hope. So that was what prompted sort of the public interest survey from these residents. So with that being said, I think there were some concerns over how the votes were going to be counted. So we thought we'll just do it in public and have the board count the votes. So you downloaded some from down online?
Yes, the trustees pulled the numbers, so you have the Excel sheet with that and the key for the box.
I printed
And it's right there.
one go. Oh,
One copy?
Yeah. Set around.
We have the tabulation sheet if you want to use that.
Yeah, we have, why don't we, how can we separate it? Okay. There's the key. So some votes were, ballots put in a ballot box under lock and key and kept, and then others were done online.
Trustee wants to do this part.
Yeah, let's pick a trustee who wants to tabulate. There we go. There you go. You can be Vanna White, with a. So, yeah, I would just write across, March, June, November, and then we just do hash marks. Does that make sense?
Yep.
What am I doing here?
I just jotted it down.
these are the electronic.
So
Oh.
just so that everybody knows, when, right before the meeting, Dave, myself and Dorothea watched the download, tabulated it and added it up where we are right now. If you want to put a note, March is 16. June is 72. And November is 66.
Okay, and those are the
So
results.
it's 154 total for those.
For those.
And the results tonight will not be certified. They will be matched against voting records for villagers to confirm.
And looking
So this
for-
was the online.
That's the online, yeah. I'm looking for duplicitous responses.
Is this just for Dorothea?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know, here. There we go. Oh my gosh, there's a whole bunch in here. Wow,
We wanted to.
do you want to read them here?
Let's all grab some.
You guys start,
All right, I'll grab some.
yeah,
I'm gonna. You guys grab.
it's nice, everybody wanted to vote in person here. Come on.
Walk in this-
It's the old fashioned village.
I know.
Old
They
fashioned
come back with
village.
their dog, they get a dog.
Right.
Yeah, I love it. Great. Look at all this.
Another dog would say.
Look at all this input.
Wow, are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you, oh my God, there's still some more.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, here.
I feel like we need
Now,
Price Waterhouse to come in with the envelopes or something.
maybe if somebody wants to add those, why don't we, as trustees, all just grab like 15?
So you're not gonna give me just check.
Well, we will.
Well, I mean.
Okay.
We still need.
All right, so I will take some then.
Yikes.
Yeah, this looks like-
Actually, why don't we just put up, like, the ones in June, a profit in June,
Yeah.
November,
Well, we can
right?
separate them into
Yeah,
piles.
piles.
March,
Looking for that.
Separate them into piles.
sorry, what is
Here's November's here.
November, what do you have, Lisa, over there?
I'm
Oh, you're-
doing my own
figure out.
copy, and then I'm gonna supposed to put them on.
Well, this is fun, seeing names of all of our friends. You know what's interesting? No one's voting for March.
I got one for March.
Did you get one?
Yeah,
for
I got
March?
one
Oh
for
my
March.
gosh. Well, they love blizzards. Okay.
They've never campaigned before,
Yeah, I was
really.
gonna say, they've never been out on the ice.
Yeah.
Yes, your website is non-functional.
Oh.
Yes, I can walk down and vote. Alright. Scratched out initial and be done.
Yeah, anything that is questionable, you can set to one side if it's unreadable or if they check 3 boxes.
I got some zero of this.
I got one.
I got 2 marches.
That wasn't that nice,
Like
unless they live here.
the golden ticket.
Yeah, here's June. Here's my November.
These are no numbers. There's James.
I figured it out. Is it nice?
Nope. Not one bit.
Oh, we did get another March. Interesting.
They've never run for election.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We've never campaigned before.
That is evil.
So here's my Junes.
Oh. June.
Now, do you have any June?
Yeah.
Here's
Want to
November,
hand them down?
Well, I count the June.
November,
June,
June,
June.
there's November,
I'm counting June.
November,
Count the
here,
numbers.
and
We have
here's one
November.
more Marches.
March.
A couple of Marches. Here's some numbers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We have 7 March holdouts in the village, just so you know.
What did I do now?
23, that's 16, no, 7.
Oh, for March up there, yeah, but on this, in this plat.
Probably made a pair.
So we can total up March.
What do we got for? 3.
7. Check my math.
I know everybody's waiting for the drum roll.
Are you doing that?
So it's gonna be a while, they're counting.
Yeah, for my next one. I brought it up. Okay.
Okay, right.
Good point.
Are you just doing, okay, double check, yeah, that's big stacks. Think so? 43.
For what?
Good enough for tonight. So I'm
Yeah.
one more than Dave, so we'll take the higher number on November.
Yeah, and then we'll certify it anyway.
43 November?
Yeah,
Yes.
$109. 109?
June, 52.
June's 52.
124.
Okay. So it looks like it could be June. we'll circle back and, match it to records. And we want to thank everybody for responding to the survey and helping us out, helping us come to a determination.
Thanks.
You need to vote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need.
Yeah, I'll.
We've got it, okay.
Hey, Michael.
Oh, the chair. You know how many clips I have at home I want to get rid of?
Yeah, I just put them right here.
Okay, so here's.
Yeah, just so Dorothea has all of them together.
So that's all for that item on the agenda, right?
Yeah, it was just to go through it.
Sure.
Do you remember what they were?
Yeah.
Okay, next up, just the Frederick Douglass statue location discussion. I just want to kind of bring you guys done?
Just about.
Okay. You done?
Yep.
Okay. Next up is the Frederick Douglass statue discussion, just to bring you guys up to date. We had spoken with the town about potentially locating Mr. Douglass in the new park across the street, Copper Beach. They call it Copper Beach 2.0. I just call it where Harley Hops is. Everybody kind of knows that. So the town board has put it before the Parks and Recreation Board to review that location and get back to us. And I believe they're meeting this Thursday at the Spiegel Center. So we sent along, the information that we have about the statue. Also, the artist Olivia Kim, who's absolutely amazing, has provided additional information to the town about the statue and anything that they would need. Our DPW is ready to help with providing a base for the statue. I think you already even have the form built. So we just want to sort of see kind of where we are after, I guess, Thursday, at least in terms of a possible location with the town. In terms of additional background, the research indicates that Frederick Douglass orated at the Four Corners in the village. And we're still trying to sort of pin down the exact location. I know our village and town historian has been researching that. So anyway, that's the latest update. I didn't know if there was anything else, Dave, or if you, Dave, would want to add to that.
Yeah, so I think it was the historian who found the news clippings.
Yeah, the newspaper
From
clippings.
Rochester. Have we put those anywhere? Have those been put in the public?
They have not yet.
Okay.
One of she's on vacation. We've had everybody going on vacation, so we haven't gotten to the update yet. But everything will be going online with the information about the statues.
I know I had some residents say, oh, I think you guys had some like newspaper stuff.
Yeah.
So it sounds like people would love to see.
You know what we can do? Why don't in the bulletin this week, let's make this an action item. We'll set up a page at least for it. And then we'll put it as a link in our bulletin, okay? And a link on the homepage.
Can I ask it to be next week's?
Oh, okay.
Because Alexandra's much better at that.
That's true. She really conscious.
It will take.
I know it'll be, it's a
Obviously,
thing. It's hard, but
that's
that's
fine.
why it was a little,
Okay.
yes, we're a small staff here. Small but
I
mighty.
could try, but
Oh, no, I understand it. And also Laura's out and,
Yeah.
we're really kind of short on staff,
I
so.
think I would be.
Oh, we'll rope you right in.
Well, you're
Yeah,
talking
okay.
about-
I'll be here tomorrow.
you want to
Would
take a
you,
look?
oh, maybe we can take a look on, that'd be great, because just to get that up and running,
Oh, I
that would be wonderful.
Dave, do you have all those pieces of information from Vicky? Okay.
And we have them here at the office, so it's available. Yeah. There's- okay.
Mayor, I
Yeah.
had missed a comment with regards to the town department, Parks Department. What was the request that we had put in?
Just a possible location, just nothing more than
Just
that.
an open-ended?
Yeah, open-ended, we don't own any land at the Four Corners, and so, we're looking for partners
Mhm.
potentially to work with us, and our friends at the town may be able to help us out. We've also had another property owner at Four Corners say that they would be, most happy to take the statue as well. I think the thought was, the artist, the sculptor, had walked the village and really felt that the park that we've asked the town at least to look at for a possibility would be great, because typically statues are in parks. Parks slow people down. You go into a park maybe to sit down, pause, so now you can have a pause and look at one of our great Americans, and scan the QR code or read the plaque and learn more and have a moment in a park setting, which I think is quite appropriate, frankly. I mean, when she came up with it, I thought, that makes sense, a statue in a park. Yeah, so that was one possibility from the sculptor, from the artist.
So one of the challenges, when we originally approved it, in my mind, I'm thinking village property, right? And the reality is, as you start to think about how much property the village actually owns that is site worthy, right? There's very few spots, perhaps down the one right across, what's that little Carpenter? It's not Carpenter. What's one that's just sort of
Remembrance?
remember?
The Auburn,
No, the Auburn.
the Auburn.
Yeah, the Auburn
Auburn
Park
Park,
is
yeah.
very dark. And
We also don't own that.
but
We don't,
could
if you
pro-
want it on village land, we don't own it.
right, so fair.
RG&E owns
Yep.
that property.
So this is all going somewhere.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
historic entryways to the village, which I don't think are place appropriate.
Mhm.
You have locations that are vehicular centric, right? Which I don't think is optimal.
Mm.
And then you have parks where there's few, but there's some that would make some sense, right? If you go down to Carpenter Park,
Mhm.
is it Carpenter Park?
Mhm.
Yeah.
On this side.
Yeah, on this side, Carpenter Park. To me, that's personally too far away. It's not activating the pedestrian in a way that's appropriate. My personal preference is not necessarily the location that has been presented by the community in the town park. It would require a request of the town. But my preference would in fact be beyond the pergola, centered so that you're overlooking the sky, the library, so there's some really nice garden that's just beyond the paved area of the park that we've been talking about.
Oh, to the rear of the
To the
park,
rear of
on
the
the
park.
parking lot
And
side?
here's the most important reason why.
Mhm.
The two locations to the front, in front of where it's paved over, right, in impervious surfaces. That's really, for me, vehicular centric, though you do walk by, right, there is that walking. But it doesn't engage the pedestrian in a way that brings them into the park, activates that spot, creates a gathering spot. So if you're in the park, actually using the park, you're looking at his backside. For me, that location in the back really just stands out. It activates that entire area, and I would personally feel comfortable asking the town if they're open to that location.
I'm trying to remember, yeah, I'm
Trying to visualize where this is.
Me too.
Can I just interject one thing? It's called Copper Beach Park because in the center of that specific location,
No,
Not
not that one.
this one here. I don't know. what it is.
Copper Beach Park 2.0.
Okay.
Let me
2.0.
update that. Just for the record, there was Copper Beach Park on State Street. The beach died. Okay, it was cloned by Cornell. And so there is now another beech tree clone planted in that location.
It's not planted yet.
There was a dedication, I thought, to it, but maybe not.
No,
What?
it's still in a bag.
I'm confused.
Okay.
What
I
two
can
spaces?
show you
But I
that.
mean, let me back up. I think the intention was to the rear of the park. So when you
Back.
looked,
Oh, let me see.
oh no, it's planted. It has a water bath. No, that's just to protect
Oh,
it.
then,
That's
okay.
That's just to
There's
protect it.
still, okay, there's still space.
Yes.
But
But if I can finish my thought, please. So, beaches grow to be quite big and beautiful. And so I think the intention was for the designer of the park and for the town was when you looked through the park to the back, someday there will be this stunning beech tree, massive to the rear. And also it would create that division, so you wouldn't see parked cars. So I hear where you're going with it, but I believe, and I remember when, they were meeting with us and talking about
Yeah.
the park, that was the intention
I don't,
to rename it another Copper Beach.
I,
That, just saying, I don't.
It
yeah,
just
we
be
don't-
more like Central Park, like
sure.
a park where you go in and it's like this is being generous, really, right? It's
Kind of a pocket park.
it's a pocket, right?
For sure.
So I think the fact that you're gonna have less people looking from that side, the parking lot side, than you are gonna have pedestrians walking you know, their dogs running, cars driving by.
People go in and they.
But I just, in terms of the total traffic, I think you're gonna have more people who are gonna wanna look at him directly there. As opposed to effectively him in the middle of the parking lot.
No, because then you're walking into the park.
Okay, so I don't think it's the middle of the parking lot. I think it's a beautiful location and that tree's gonna take a very long time to grow.
Mhm.
And there's certainly an opportunity as it starts to grow to move the location because we'll effectively own it with the goodwill of the sort of community. And
So you wanna move it like 10 feet
uh,
from where the artist wants it.
No, it would go all the way to the rear of the park.
it's not say we're the park, but it's the most engaging part of it.
It's parking lot.
No, it's not. This is not. It's a huge grass field. It's the biggest
No,
grass.
you're pointing, you're looking at Camp David.
No,
His back will be to the parking lot,
It's
but his front will be to the park.
So
Arguably, we're talking about a guy who's way more important than any of us here, and we're chucking him in a parking lot.
it's not a parking lot. I think it's a great.
Same park.
Come on.
I think it's a great location.
All right, well, thank you for that location.
No, I think it's important everybody weighs in, everybody has an opinion. I'm thinking that's great. We still don't have any feedback yet from the town, even if there is a possibility. I think it's an opportunity for both municipalities and our entire community to work together to come up with something
So
where he's, to me, very visible, you know, because around the corner here is the marker for the Underground Railroad. So now you're walking maybe on the sidewalk or you're even stopped at a light, you see Frederick Douglass. And then maybe you turn on Monroe and you see the marker for the Underground Railroad. I think, you know, there is a bit of continuity there in terms of just even, you know, the sense that we're walkable as a village. To create, you know, literally a line through our village. And also if the Harriet Tubman Trail hopefully comes through, we haven't heard back from the state yet, but they want to bring part of the Harriet Tubman Freedom Trail through our village, then that's yet another layer of our history, you know?
well, I would just suggest today.
Yeah.
If any member or majority is willing to ask Parks Department if they would approve that site, I'd be willing to make that motion today.
As opposed,
No, not as opposed, no, not as opposed, just consider it as one of the options.
Or if what we're suggesting is we wait for the Parks Department to come back and say, yeah, any location on that park is fine. But a formal request, I would make a motion to formally request.
when are we gonna hear,
The Parks Department meets this Thursday, at Spiegel Center, I believe at 6 o'clock.
so we could hear on the original location that the,
Mhm.
by first.
Or any location.
Yes, but I'm just saying.
The Thursday comments for any place in that park, it's not a specific location in that park.
No, it was again, I think I tried to make it as clear as possible that it was the artist who walked the village. And, you know, I want to respect, we're the first community to get a Frederick Douglass statue outside of the city of Rochester. I think that's kind of cool. And so,
Outstanding.
yeah, and so, you know, she helps to cite and place these statues. And so this was a request from her, you know, and so I want to respect, you know, I think how the artist also envisioned the statue going in and where she thought it would have an effect and be visible.
But
to
to
the
put
community.
a bow on it, effectively what you're saying is the Thursday meeting is for the rendered location that we have already talked about.
Yeah, yeah,
That's-
in other words, that was what.
Time.
Or that the artist had already talked about. That we have
That's
seen
what
renderings.
the artist
The artist-
spoken about, nothing more
I
than
would
that.
suggest that there was never a conversation with the artist or this board as to the location of the statue.
Did you not see all the renderings that we received?
I received renderings that were put forward by the community.
A couple of
With
people in the
request.
community, not from us.
Did you have questions about those to the artist then?
No, that's why we were having
Okay,
these discussions.
So from a time standpoint, so it would be Thursday for that location. The other question I have is, where is the statue currently?
Is it the artist,
So it's at the
studio? Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
it's.
in terms of, you had mentioned, well, we sit here and potentially think about a 19th location, that'll be the Goldilocks one. You had mentioned that there's somebody on the corner who is willing to take it down.
Yep, there is the owner of the building that houses the Pittsburgh Fine Arts Gallery, and some of you may remember, it was this past Memorial Day when we had paddle and pour and everything. The Frederick Douglass statue was there, you know, for like a couple of weeks, or maybe it was the year prior, I'm sorry, the year prior. So, and it was kind of great. And so he said, more than happy to at least have a home for Mr. Douglass while maybe you're sorting it out. You know, the statue's not that big. I mean, you know, we can move it. But, you
So-
know,
But
that's.
it would have to be secured. I mean, we can't just stand it in front of the
Yeah,
building.
that's why, as I mentioned before, too, our DPW's built out a frame to do the, foundation for the statue.
So tax dollar or resident taxes have been spent already on this and they don't have a statute.
I make a motion to.
Wait, I haven't had my chance.
Hang on, we're still talking.
I mean, that was a legitimate question.
That's not.
It was mentioned that it's very traditional to put statues in parks, which is true, but it's also very traditional to put statues at town office buildings, town halls, wherever. I think that because right now, the village is the only municipality that has any skin in this game, that we shouldn't let the town decide where the statue is gonna go. I'd love to see it out front here on our front yard. It's still in pretty much the same view shed as across the street. People are still gonna be walking by it. There's room to come in and enjoy it. It's on our property. Now, if the community buys this statue and they raise the funds, then we can entertain, you know, we could put it wherever. But we're always very, very careful to say we don't want to make a gift because we can't do that. We've talked about this with picking up trash, picking up debris on streets we don't own. I'm afraid if we put it up at Bob Michael's, that's putting it on a piece of private property. And I don't know if legally we can do that.
I'd like to speak to that and I'd also like our attorney to weigh in because we've entered into agreements with private property owners. Oh, I'm thinking of Stonegate actually, where we created an agreement or some type of an easement or some type of a lease arrangement with the owner to do so. That has happened with Breeze's parking lot. Other, you know, aspects. I mean, excuse me one second, I'm almost done.
Okay.
And after that, I'd like our attorney to weigh in. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything untoward about it. I think we can certainly be very transparent about, you know, creating some kind of an arrangement through an agreement with whoever the owner is, whether it's the town, whether it's a private property owner of commercial property. I believe those agreements happen quite frequently throughout municipalities all over this nation. Yeah, Jeff, did you want to just weigh in on that? Is that something we could do, is to enter into some type of an agreement or arrangement?
Yeah, as long as it's not a gift,
Yeah,
you're not giving it to
Yeah.
Bob Michaels.
right. That's
So,
Excuse
John,
me, I got a question for the attorney. For the Breathe parking lot that was used as an example, don't both municipalities have some costs that they share? And in this situation, the town is not sharing any costs. This was a village purchase only.
Both. But in that, with regard to the parking lot, both are getting a benefit from it. Although I think the village is getting more of the benefit in terms of parking.
However, we're saying we're using that as an apples to apples comparison where agreements are made. And in that instance, there's two municipalities that are paying.
Right. So we're talking about a village statute being loaned to private property owner for presumably public interest and benefit purposes.
to the benefit of the betterment of the community. For the public good.
And it's essentially no different than providing parking, which is what we're doing at Breathe.
Okay,
so going back to what John had said, you actually beat me to the punch, because I was gonna say, the next thing is, outside of that, outside of Bob Michaels, what property do we own? We own this, right? So at a minimum, start there, do something.
Do you like it here more than there, where I referenced it?
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
do?
well, I like it there because at least it's up.
no, all things being equal,
Yes,
in terms of the
yes, I-
placement of a statue,
You-
what are your thoughts?
Because it's closer to where.
Something more visible.
More visible, because it's still, again, at the front of, you know, the area.
Then
Um,
we just put it here.
Yeah.
And I love it. I mean, I love it.
At least it's
It's-
dark.
Oh, no,
Yeah, at least,
You're talking, hang on,
I'll
Dan.
work with it.
I'm not following this. So to have this to have Mr. Douglas live in our front yard temporarily while things are being sorted.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that too. Of course I am.
I'll make a motion that we place the Frederick Douglass statue at a location appropriate in the front yard of the village hall.
What's appropriate?
But that's where it can be seen, it's not in front of a tree, you know,
Yeah.
behind a tree.
And we can have the artists come out and help us with the site. How about that? Okay. Can we-
Second.
Mike,
All those words into my motion. Please.
I wrote down Village Hall.
We have a motion. Is there a second, please? Okay.
Okay, trustee Welts.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
John, good job. Okay, good job.
Mr. Douglas is gonna live at 21 North Main for now.
Could I make one quick comment?
Oh, please do.
I'd like to thank Dan Keating for a thoughtful letter and also a very wonderful book in his support of the placement of the statue.
Yes, that's absolutely. Thanks, Dan.
Are we allowed to, is a gifting issue?
It's under $75.
Is it?
Yes, it is. I know. How did you get-
That's fair, Dan.
Yeah. And we're gonna have an extra copy at the office. It's part of our lending library. This is a wonderful biography of Frederick Douglass. I've already read it years ago. It's called Prophet of Freedom, and David Blight wrote the book. It's pretty incredible.
That will be
So,
my vacation reading.
Yeah.
at the end of the month.
yep, there you go.
We have a public comment.
Mhm.
Emily Diaz, don't you still need to raise funds for the statue? Would it be beneficial to place it on town land and have the town contribute to the remaining balance owed?
That would be lovely to have them contribute anyway,
Yeah.
wherever the statue is.
Figure that out later.
Yeah. That could be an action item.
Hey.
Yes. Oh, there's hands up. Excuse me, one sec. Excuse me, Steve. Yes, sir.
Flowers, so my question.
I'm sorry.
is-
Where's your address?
I'm in, 6 Bruce Lane.
6 Bruce Lane.
My question is, how is security a part of this conversation? Whether it's you all or other groups that are part of the conversation? In terms of location, visibility. You know, in parts of the city that the statues were a little bit, had graffiti or messed up on them that had to be replaced. So I'm concerned about the security wherever it ends up.
I can tell you if Mr. Douglas is in our front yard, there's already security.
Yeah.
Okay,
And actually,
and we would make arrangements no matter where Mr. Douglas ends up.
And
when we first had this discussion, that was one of the first questions I had. I think directly to Jason, because we were thinking about it now, I said, okay, well, what about someone vandalizing the statue? Here is actually, to be honest, one of the safest spots.
Yeah.
Because of the security system we have,
That's true.
Yeah,
so.
but thanks for asking that because it's important because I know there's been a number of issues. Yeah. Yeah, and Steve, you had a comment?
Is that a motion?
I know, come on, we're just getting started, Steve. No, of course. Thank you. Thank you. very much.
Thanks, Dave.
Do we have anything more for Jason?
No, nothing for Jason. Let the poor guy go.
They've all had long days too.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Can I go to?
Nope.
Nope.
That was quick.
All right.
Okay,
Oh,
no, good discussion, folks. Always a good discussion. Okay, so the Shane Place, this is just a public restroom update. I know that and just so everybody knows, public restrooms are going in Shane Place. Yay. Okay, so the Collins family has generously donated 2 or 3 of their parking spots that are adjacent to by the pole tower parking lot there, and those spots are adjacent to where the grain silo is, sort of, on that side of it. For public restrooms. So again, we're a government moving at a highly rapid snail's pace, but we're moving as fast as we can. Our village engineer has, and Jason, our superintendent of DPW, have met numerous times with the Collins family, really gone through the site because we obviously are building something brand new. We're connecting into infrastructure there on their property. So he has finalized, I think, a lot of the sort of the drawings and what that would take. So now I believe Jeff, he's working with, gonna be working with you to set up the easement agreement with the Collins family so we can move forward.
All I need is the legal description.
Yes, with the legal description, so we know, we can get in there and start it, so.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yeah, just 1 second, please, and then, we did reach out to Barrow, Architecture. It's a firm that has done a lot of work in our village, they, do a lot of work with historic properties, and they're excellent, they've done a lot of work on this building, and so we asked for a recommendation in terms of looking for architects for public amenities, public restrooms, things like that, so. I know, Dorothy, you've been reaching out to a firm that they did recommend, so we're hopefully gonna be bringing that back to the board. Because they kind of specialize in this stuff.
Any costs yet?
No, we don't, yeah, that's just kind of the next big step.
Money to kind of pay an architect, yeah,
Sure,
okay.
I got a printing press.
She'll print some, yeah. So, also, we are looking at, working with some grant funding that we've received, that we may be able to redirect some of the funds to this. Which I think, because this really is a priority, this has been a priority since, forever. So, that's a possibility, I know we're going down that path, so we'll hopefully be able to get back to the board on that, just in terms of what the status would be of those funds, yeah.
So then
Yeah.
this still has to go through the process through the zoning and planning, do they have to see that?
Oh, yeah,
And
sure.
so it needs to still go through all the process?
Yeah,
Okay.
oh, yeah.
So the
it's a
design
project.
will have to go through HPB and,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and the design, we want it to be obviously compatible with, the historical structures
Right,
down there. It's
right.
not gonna be something,
Right.
really untoward or, that kind of thing. It also will have full handicap access for both of the restrooms. Some of you may know that Rochester by Water is putting in a handicap accessible lift to help folks get on some of their boats, which I think is great. So this really is an opportunity, I think, to really just address needs of, I think, of a section of our community that really hasn't been addressed. So, yeah, Dave.
Yeah, so just a couple things on the bathroom. So as a board, we've not yet seen sketch drawings.
No,
or
we need an
architectural plans.
architect.
We haven't seen it yet. So we're just working on the site to make
Mhm.
sure all that, so that's where it is in our process. But, and so that also means, Jason, you haven't seen anything yet. And so one question that I have though, is just the existing porta potties, the costs of those
Mhm.
porta potties relative to your perceived maintenance of this, you won't know until you see it. Is that kind of your thinking?
Yeah, I mean, it's two bathrooms, it won't be overly, time consuming to maintain. I think, we're really it's gonna be one of those things where we're gonna have to see how people treat it.
Well, I'd like to just step up here for a minute.
Mhm.
You're gonna be doing some basic maintenance
Yeah.
with those restrooms. We actually have a professional commercial cleaning crew,
Mhm.
and they take care of public restrooms.
Mhm.
So we're gonna be looking at what it would be to add on that service.
So we're
from this
looking for that
crew.
cost, we're gonna get an
Yes.
update on that.
And then, you're gonna be checking the
Yeah.
garbage and just sort of, Yeah.
Check, make sure that fixtures are working.
Yeah.
lights are working, toilets are flushing, things are cleaned, as we do a quick passing through the garbages. We need to look more of the.
Oh, yeah.
And then the insurance, the additional insurance to cover the vandalism and damage.
Yeah,
and that whole thing. We gotta
that's,
look at that.
that's what we do. Yeah, Dorothea.
I would say you're ahead of the game. You need to design it and then they can present
And all
it.
that.
Yes.
You can get your
We're
estimates
kind
and
of
things.
drilling down pretty
But
deep.
right now, you're running about 15,000-16,000 a year for your porta potties.
Porta potties, and not including time. But, other quick question, 24 hours, have we thought about this? Are we
We
gonna?
can be thinking about these things. I think, that actually could be a whole other workshop
Mhm.
discussion
Yeah,
or
maybe.
something else when we really get additional information, when we see the site plan, when we get the easement, when we start to maybe start talking with architects. As you know, we just signed the contract with Siemens to help us with sustainable projects. They may be able to help us with some, sort of environmentally nice design on this as well. So there's still a few moving parts, but it'll all come back to the board and we can all drill down as deep as we want to go.
Great.
Yeah, David.
Quick question. I know a couple of months ago, we talked about two potential locations.
Mhm.
And based on what happened tonight. I'm
That's
assuming
over.
that's over.
Yep,
Okay.
that's over.
Yeah.
Yep. Chip sale.
Looks like we have-
Yeah, oh, yes, we have a question, yes.
For me, 7 Washington Avenue, a couple thoughts about this. The other 3 villages that have similar facilities to this either have a dock master or volunteers that staffs the facility and they monitor the access to the bathrooms. And that's huge in terms of being able to prevent vandalism and minimize maintenance costs. I think one thing that you might explore is talking to the Sand Patch and Lot 32, is perhaps maybe they have keys to allow, so they know who's going in and out of the restaurant. And I suggest as Lot 32, I think would have an interest in this because their bathrooms are extremely small, they're not handicap accessible. And when that patio is full, that's definitely going to be a large customer for this restaurant. So there's a vested interest in Ms. Collins and in the owners of Lot 32.
We're reaching out to all, thank you,
It would be a good partnership to have.
thank you. Great, okay, so,
But I
yeah.
guess one more.
Oh, is there another, I said, hi, Abby, yeah.
Abby McCray, 25 Washington Avenue. Here, to support this wonderful idea. I'm so delighted that you're moving forward with it and you found the spot with the Collins family. But I'd also like to suggest that we put a porta potty at the canoe and kayak launch by the Public Works Building. Kind of in the parking lot by the canoe and kayak launch.
I'll make that suggestion to the town.
I know it's an added expense, but there are a lot of people who use that and there's no facility.
Yeah, that's town property,
Okay.
and so I'm meeting with Bill, so I can tell him it was brought up. Yeah, because that's a good point. Yeah, I know it gets a lot of use.
Thank you, this is a wonderful one.
We're excited. I know. Okay.
One other question.
Oh, yeah,
Do you
sure.
have a baby teaching?
Pardon me?
Is it planned out at?
Yeah, they will be, there are 2 fully handicap accessible bathrooms with changing tables for infants and also for adults. Okay, for both, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and there'll be an ice machine there for Rochester by water, because they'll have to keep lugging ice down to the Sand Patch for all their cruises. So we're working with all of these entities too, because they're very excited about it as well, so, yeah, thank you, okay. Moving on, amendment to Monroe County Cooperation Agreement for 2026.
I'm assuming they added this.
Yeah, they added it. I mean, this is an agreement, there's all kinds of intermunicipal agreements, whether we have it with the town, this one's with the county. This is actually kind of a small amendment. I think it's about, what is it, the the grant, yeah, which kind of doesn't affect us, but it just moves us forward. Yeah,
So we just need a motion to allow you to sign this?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Jeff, any concerns?
it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Yeah, what is it? The only question I have is where it says all the other terms are in effect. Or for the upcoming 3-year qualification period, will this come back to us again to approve it again?
I don't think so.
Okay, this is the one time we have to do it.
It's 29.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just because it's October 1st, 2026.
Oh, I see. Well, that's when it kicks in.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's when it kicks
There's
in.
no seeker on this?
No.
And I'll make a motion to allow the mayor to sign the amendatory agreement to the cooperation agreement for urban county requalification.
Okay, trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Weeks.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck. Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Hi.
Motion passes.
Okay, we are one with the county. All right, moving on, I'm bringing back to the board, some board appointments. I hope, I know you'd expressed interest in reaching out to some of these applicants and hope whoever wanted to did so. We have an opening on the HPB for an alternate position that I believe has been open for since last year. Yeah, and it's a 5-year appointment. Would like to appoint Rabia Stevenson to fill the position of alternate on the HPB.
Mayor, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Who was in the position before? in that alternate position?
Oh.
Remember who that
That
was?
was way back.
It's been vacant a while.
Has it?
It
was
has.
Ben Richardson. Wasn't Ben's? Was it?
It could have been
I
Okay.
can't tell you.
Ben
Ben
Richardson.
Richards, it would have
Or
been.
Richards.
Point.
Okay.
So that's going back several years. Yeah.
This is the term ending when?
I have that sheet.
Did you put the sheet here?
I do have a sheet.
Oh, I have a sheet. Okay, I'm looking at it. 2030.
Wow.
Can I
Yeah.
take that sheet?
You've been looking for that sheet.
Man, I've been looking at that sheet forever. Mind if I copy that sheet real quick?
You can have that sheet.
Whole sheet to me.
Can you, do that to the?
There you
Why don't
have
you
it.
send the sheet out to the entire board? They love the sheet. They want the
Be
sheet.
happy to send the sheet out.
Yeah. you want-
So I have another, Mayor, I have
I'll
another
get the
question.
sheet.
So I have another question.
Sure will.
Procedural.
Okay, so
Procedural question. So according to our last appointment presentation, we did not move Carolina Torres forward. The motion failed. So what's happening in that spot? Like, how does that work?
she's in a holdover right now. She's willing to stay on the board.
So she's in a holdover, meaning that she needs to satisfy our request and then she can just.
She's in a
Continue.
holdover until there's another appointment to fill the position. Rabia Stevenson has requested to go on as an alternate, and
Okay,
that
so she-
position is open.
Okay.
So Carolina remains in a holdover pattern on that board.
So Rabia did not want to go into Carolina's position?
As I just stated, Rabia has requested to be an alternate on the board.
Okay, well, I spoke to Rabia today,
Oh.
and that's not her understanding.
Oh, okay, okay.
Her understanding is that she is gonna be on the board. She didn't say anything about an alternate. So I don't know if we need to clarify that with her because that was distinctly discussed and,
Okay, well, I had a discussion with her too, and maybe we came away with a different.
This is a mayoral appointment.
This is my appointment. I wish to appoint her as an alternate to fill a position that's been open since 2020.
I agree,
Fine.
but I would like her to know what she gets.
I will be speaking with her. We can straighten it out pretty readily. Thank you. This is before the board right now, excuse me.
At the last meeting, I brought up, I have a concern, and I understand that these appointments have to be made, but we are getting new people, and I would love, and I haven't had time since the last meeting to develop this any further, but I'd like to see when we make appointments that we assign a mentor to these people as
Mhm.
well. For maybe a fixed period of time, just so they've got somebody they can ask questions of. We're trying to do things with the planning board where we're having pre-meetings to, just kind of introduce a lot of things. And I don't know how to do that formally, if that becomes a handbook item. I don't think you want to codify something like that, but I'd almost like to see that, when we make an appointment, it's like, oh, and by the way, you're stuck with John, who's going to mentor you as we go through that. So it's a thought,
Mhm.
I don't know how.
Appreciate that. Dorothea, do you want to talk? They get, when they're appointed.
When they're
want to talk about
appointed,
that?
both boards have training materials.
But
But I understand.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
And
Yeah, just want to add on to that.
and my understanding, the chairs and everybody
Mhm.
do work with the new people.
Yeah, I
get-
mean, they always have, but I agree, maybe to make it a little more,
I'd like it formal because,
a little more
you
formal.
can hand me the training materials and if I read them or not, and I might not want to ask a question, I just.
It's
I'm
easier
thinking
to
about
skip
it.
it if there's no one, like, it's like having a personal trainer.
So to have somebody circle back with you and make sure
Or
that
somebody
you
that I can
understand it.
call if I
Sure.
don't know what is secret.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
But I think I agree 100%. And I think, really, you have created a very unique situation. Thank you for the planning and zoning board by really kind of pulling that together. And so that's the next step also. would
I'll
be
work with
historic-
Thea to see what.
Just to finish my thought, that I also see that as a possibility for the Historic Preservation Board, and talking to other members of that board to do so. So I really like the idea, and also the pre-meetings, I think are really helpful that you've been doing as well. Mhm.
Mayor.
Yeah,
With regards to the alternates, we did this with the planning and zoning. We
Mm-hmm.
picked the first and second alternate. And looking at this sheet here, Christina Lanahan is an alternate and existing. Are you appointing Rabia Stevens, who effectively would be a fifth member because there's a seat vacant? So one of the alternates, in order to make a 5-member board, is
Mhm.
necessary to be there. Are you appointing Rabia as the first alternate or the second alternate?
Second.
The second alternate, thank you. Thanks, you made your motion?
I had a comment.
Yeah. There's, yeah,
Ron Corby, 7 Washington Avenue. And as far as the open meetings law, you really should have included the name of the person to be appointed, and then we hope the resume of the person in the packet. That is required. It should be available to the public 24 hours before the meeting. As a resident, I've been concerned because over the last 5 years, we've lost experienced people from the boards, replaced with inexperienced people with a lack of training, and it's really for the functioning. I have more knowledge in historic preservation than anybody else in this community. I've submitted my resume 4 times, have been treated rudely, gaslit by you at a meeting, and never got the courtesy of a response. So
thanks so much for your
I'm concerned-
comment.
I'm not finished yet.
Oh.
Please don't interrupt me. I
Okay,
have a right to hold you accountable for your behavior as mayor.
okay.
And I think there is nothing more important in this board than the independent regulatory role these boards have placed and have served for the last 5 decades in this community. So as a resident, I'm very concerned about how they're operating and to ensure that we get adequate training for the board members. And I'm not the only person that feels this way. I know many people in the village share my concern.
Thanks for your comment. Dorothea, were those resumes
checking.
included in the packet? Because we certainly got them. And I thought they were included.
They were not.
Oh, they were not, they were left out. And should have been in the packet, so
I
that
got
was, did you get them?
Well,
Okay, well,
I've,
Not,
they're
not,
not online.
they're not online.
oh, they're not online. Okay, so that was an error, I guess.
I guess that's a concern on my part.
Okay, hang on, let's talk through this, yeah.
I'm not sure they should be.
I don't know that they have ever been online.
Well,
Okay.
the question is, these are personal resumes, personal
Oh.
information.
Correct.
That's all my concern.
That has always been the concern.
I know the board, we always get
The
them.
board gets them, they've had them. We, even when we hire, we don't put a person's resume on.
That's true.
They're made public once they're hired. That's different.
Yeah, that's
Animal.
what it should be.
So even names?
I don't want the responsibility.
Jeff, how about names?
Well,
So,
that's gonna be a matter of public record.
yeah, name is a public record, so
Sure.
like address, email,
Yeah, or.
That's
anything
how
you know
we
the
do that.
resident.
Like the special permits, they can be redacted.
Redacted,
Parts
yeah.
that are
So I guess you could redact.
I'm just not comfortable putting personal information, I think, of not even of anyone, if they're gonna be an officer of the village or employees. I mean, it's just not. I don't think it's smart.
Yeah. Well, and an application for a permit. I mean, we don't, that's all, that's redacted, right?
Right. And it's a matter of public record too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a look
And they're
like a
applying for
commercial.
something.
Okay.
What about like when we talk about a DPW hire?
You know,
Like,
we don't put that.
we don't
No.
put residents
executive
on.
session.
Yeah, executive session.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Strikes me as a place I wouldn't wanna go.
Okay, so is that the understanding then that the board has, is that any resume from someone putting something in for a board position simply wouldn't be posted in a public packet?
I'm, as clerk, I'm uncomfortable with that.
Okay,
Honestly,
I just wanted to talk through it.
did do that at one point, and I watched an applicant and their background get torn to shreds. And to be honest,
Ooh.
I don't think that's fair to anybody applying for any of these positions. But at the end of the day, I will defer to the board and the attorney. I'm not
I
comfortable.
respect your opinion on this too, because you've been attending NICOM.
You're HR.
I mean, I feel like you're setting a person up.
Just think a lot from a loss mitigation point of view. It's just not good.
Unnecessary exposure.
So is that clear? Are there any other questions, Senator Jeff, about that? Or for Dorothea? We're all clear on that the understanding then is, as trustees, we would certainly
We're still doing our job.
internal information, this is internal for to make a decision. So with that being said, I would like to confirm that I'd like to appoint Rabia Stevenson as the second alternate to the Historic Preservation Board.
So,
We have a second? roll call.
More conversation, please.
This-
But
What?
hang on, the motion is to approve the mayoral appointment.
To approve the mayoral appointment. You're right, you're right. Thank
So
you. That's-
just a straight vote. Yeah,
Well, no, the motion is to approve the
Yeah.
mayoral appointment.
got it.
Yeah,
Second.
okay,
So we're doing it one at a time?
yes.
So again, I just wanted to say that I had a wonderful conversation with Robbie today, and again, my major concern is that she has absolutely no experience, and talking to her, she really does not understand preservation. However, she's very passionate, she's very intelligent, and I know she can do the work. But I agree with John that I really, really want newly appointed people to have a mentorship, and I would love, and Robbie agreed, to have me mentor her. But I was under the understanding that she was gonna be, not an alternate, but permanent. So whatever way she becomes, whether it's alternate or permanent, I would like to be considered to be a mentor to her, to help her to understand some of the preservation stuff. If you would agree to that, Mayor.
Okay, thanks for that. I'll take that under consideration. Right now, we have a motion for the appointment, and one of the reasons why my discussion was to have her be an alternate is because she would be coming up a learning curve.
I'd be happy to.
And yep, thank you so much for, we've not recognized, it's before the board, and we have a motion
The motion is to approve your appointment.
to approve the mayoral appointment to this position as discussed. And we had a second.
We had a second, you ready?
Ready?
Okay,
All right, trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Well, I haven't gotten an answer whether I could be a mentor, so I'm still uncomfortable with that.
this is a vote.
Right. So I'm gonna abstain because I don't have enough information.
Okay,
Trustee Lindbeck.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
aye,
Motion passes.
okay. Give Robbie a call. Okay, next up, I make a motion to have Denny, do you have Denny for hers? Yeah. Just in case, you all to the planning and zoning board, as an alternate. And he has, been, received mentoring, I know, through John and also through, Susan. You happen to be here this evening, thank you, who's served on the board for many years, has also been mentoring Denny. He also has received, I believe, he's gone through either 10 or 12 hours of training. So he's already exceeded the 4-hour requirement for this year and has already gone through next year's requirement, but he's, really wants to understand the position. So I would like to appoint Denny Tahar to fill the open position. Where's the sheet?
I gave it back.
John has.
John has it. Do you have the sheet? Where's that? The
This
sheet?
one?
No, it's the sheet of the terms.
Speed of the terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had that, no?
We have a sheet of
No, no,
terms.
it's right there.
This is
Yep.
to fill Joanne. Shannon's
Yeah,
full
yep,
position.
to fill a position that's open. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this would be to fill a position that's open as a member through 2031. Yeah. There's a second. Okay, I have a second. Okay, any discussion?
Yes,
Okay,
I'll just wait.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess I can't ask Susan. But John, maybe do you know, attendance,
Every meeting.
every meeting? Okay,
And John, you've met him,
If that ever meeting,
and you have,
that's what I always like. to know.
I've never met him, so.
Okay, we ready?
okay,
Yeah.
vote please.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Lindbeck.
aye.
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, next up to fill the position of an alternate for the board through 2031, which would have been where Mr. Tahar was. I would like to make a mayoral appointment of Peter Goodman. You have his resume, and I think some board members may have spoken with him.
This was to alternate, first or second.
He'd be well,
Adam's there now.
Adam's there now. Adam's already on. I would make him first.
So Adam's on as alternate now,
Yeah,
right? But he's not full. Peter would become first alternate, second.
first.
I think that happened.
right?
Peter would become first and Adam would remain second.
Yes.
Second.
Yes, he would.
I think that happened to me when I was on PCA, as an alternate. I was
Yeah.
second, and
Right,
but then I moved.
yeah,
Like,
it just depends on,
swapped.
yeah,
Sure, sure. I mean, if one can't
Yeah.
make it or.
yes, that's pretty much how it works.
Have a good conversation with Peter.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll second.
Okay, we have a second discussion.
I just say. It's education and all of his experience and.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's run for president.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very engaged in the community as well. He's also a firefighter.
Volunteer.
Yeah. So, okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Limbeck,
Aye.
trustee Wilkes,
Aye.
trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, thanks, everybody. Moving on. We now have zoning discussion, expanding the LOR, which may end up sort of being a workshop, I think.
Could be, so let me
Yeah.
throw it out there, maybe there's some.
Dive in a little bit.
Do it on
Okay.
the agenda,
Okay.
and then, share with you what I'm thinking. I included the zoning map. There thoughtfully, the properties were highlighted, so that was kind of cool.
And just to,
Yeah,
the red outline,
those are the properties that I.
that's what you're, okay.
Yeah, but not exactly how ultimately I'm thinking about it today. So let me share with you the thoughts. The LOR is the transect zone between historical downtown and down towards the entrance of the Erie Canal going north on State Street. And there are currently across the street here, there are 4 or 5 homes that are, what's that?
Station?
North Main.
North
North
Main.
Bay, okay.
Thank you, sorry, North Main. So across the street here, there are currently a number of homes that have been converted to first floor offices and have some flexibility inherent to them. For example, with regards to short-term rentals, we allow in this particular zone, I forget if it was 3 or 4 short-term rentals. Village Hall was included in that, as was to the right, the home. Brett's home, what was the name of the home?
Oh, the Wadham's house?
The Wadham's
Yeah, the
house.
Wadham's
That's
house, sure.
recently redone.
Yep.
And then that one next door?
And next door to us was actually not in the LOR.
Right.
This is part of a residential zone. There is the home next door that was just spoke of earlier, and then the
Canal Land.
Airbnb Canal Land.
Well, it's not, it's an inn, it's not, it's a bed and breakfast
Yes.
inn. It's
Bed and
not an
breakfast inn.
Airbnb.
Yep, sorry, did I say Airbnb?
Yeah.
I meant a bed and breakfast
Did that too.
inn. So we have a bed and breakfast inn. And so in thinking about how to broaden the zone and think about the 2 very residential looking homes to the entrance of the Erie Canal, you have the kitchen store on the left, the maroon one, and then the nicely done blue home on the right, just as you go in there, that was just recently painted and looks really nice. And this zone is where we permitted short-term rentals to a degree. And the concern that I have was creating some additional flexibility, right? But also encouraging preservation of the residential districts by creating a residential opportunity, or at least a short-term rental type residential opportunity. A number of people spoke, I spoke within the community, also just in thinking about modifying this. What I'm thinking is, instead of this side of the street being in the LOR, have this side of the street remain residential, but actually broaden it to include Brett's home. And then also have a question with regards to the barn in the back, whether or not we embed that in the VCB, the Village Central Business District, or we embed it in the residential district, because otherwise it's just a standalone floating space in the LOR. So from Brett,
Wow,
right?
that's an image.
Yeah, it's just literally
Like
Brett's home
floating.
would be a residential. Yeah, so it was subdivided, if you recall, last year.
Yeah.
So Brett's home here, Wadham's house would become the what would be the limited low density residential. We would maintain these properties as low density residential. We could keep the village in either the LOR or actually no, the village hall is already in the low density residential. So we just leave it alone. So this entire side of the street returned to low density residential. But in thinking about expanding the limited office residential, I think that there should be an opportunity to have residential character embedded in the two properties to the entrance of the Erie Canal. And I wouldn't want it to capture the entire property. So right now, the property, if you think about the one on the right, where the parking lot is behind it, Kerry Degenhardt's there. I wouldn't want that parking lot to be in the LOR. I would just want to grab half of that property, basically bring it through, capture the kitchen store, which looks residential and should be allowed to be residential if in fact anybody wanted it to be, or if they wanted to create a short-term rental. But the buildings that are connected to it behind it, keep that in the mixed-use Erie Canal. And so effectively, it would be rezoning the Wadham's house to the low-density residential, the back barn to either low-density residential or the central business district, where they can perhaps access it through the fire hall. The fire hall may have some more flexibility in that regard. And then the two properties down on the Erie Canal that look like homes should be allowed to be homes. And I think the limited office residential is a closer approximation of what their use should be than the mixed use Erie Canal. That's my feedback.
So question real quick, Dave, 'cause I'm trying to get my perspective. So the dairy residential home is in the VGB, correct?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so that's another one of those homes, right? Kind of like, what are we doing? Because then, you know, right after that, then we've got pretty much the dairy and then that just turns the corner.
I suppose
Well,
you could
no,
have a
we've got the other-
conversation about driving a line of the LOR into that and grabbing it. I initially was not thinking that at all. I just sort of stopped with the kitchen because it's a little bit more evident by the roadside. And right across the street, you have those two homes now that are already in the LOR.
Right.
Um,
Oh, dear.
No, LOR.
Oh, I'm sorry, all over.
Yeah.
You're right.
So if you think right when you go over North Main Bridge, the two homes on the left
Yeah.
are floating in space as LOR.
Right.
I think we connect them across the street with the two homes there. And then we take just this property and the one in the back of the barn and bring them.
one problem I see with that, if you do the one on the other side of the road, that then abuts the Tavern Overlay District, which can't abut residential.
This is LOR and it's okay because so does the entire Tavern Overlay District, which is the parking lot and part of Thirsties.
Say that again.
The Tavern Overlay District does abut other LOR districts.
Here, see this?
And in fact, if you were to cut it,
Right.
if you were to cut that property in half, as I'm thinking, the front half, the two homes being in the LOR, the back half remaining as they are.
So how did that happen? If the Tavern Overlay District's not supposed to abut residential, how did it happen with these sections here?
No, I wasn't on that. That was that.
Was it me?
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
We have these.
Yeah, so anyway,
Mr. Attorney?
Another guy did it.
I can answer that question.
Oh, but here, Bob's gonna answer the question. Name and address, please.
Poorly said one. The thought was during the conflict process of rezoning. That because that is kind of a mixed use district, including post office and probably perhaps Airbnb, that it would be more forgiving to accept the noise that might be in a tavern district. And so that's why it wasn't seen as a problem to have the LOR abut the tavern district.
However, that set a precedent that now we could water down any other place that they want to expand the Tavern Overlay District to say, well, we did it up there, we can do it down here.
That's true, but I think if you look at the physical qualities on the ground, you can always make an argument, what will the actual impacts be?
and if I may, John, my idea does not create a parcel in the LOR that would touch the Tavern Overlay District. There's actually a decent sized gap in between.
So I have a slight different view on this. So if anything, if I'm looking at kind of this, the
Yeah.
BGB, LOR, north side. If anything, to me, it almost looks like the LOR on the north side should be VGB. I don't understand why that's those two were singled out as limited office, as opposed to Gateway. All of those are businesses. I mean, you have the dairy, you have gas station, you have the restaurants, you have a hotel. It just seems odd that those two were kind of brought out. I guess it's because there used to be a business there or something like that, but now one of them's a Airbnb or what. If anything, it seems like those should be all part of the PGB.
Just so it's contiguous.
So it's, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
This limited office makes a ton of sense. I understand, these small houses right on here that are pretty much they're just all businesses.
Yeah,
But then the other thing is this cutting, it's the one with the parking lot. I mean, it does seem like it's exactly the definition of mixed use Erie Canal. Being right on, I mean, isn't that almost like Canal Corp land part of that?
sure. Sure.
So
But-
it seems,
So the Village Gateway Business District is not a residential district, and one of the greatest challenges is creating buffer zones between business districts and residential districts. And the idea of the LOR, the limited office residential, was to maintain a residential character that was the bridge between your business districts and your residential districts. One of the greatest challenges to growth is preserving and protecting that and preventing that bleed from adversely impacting what can be very sensitive residential neighborhoods. And so for me, I would rather take properties that are currently residential in character and drive them into residential zones than put them into a gateway business district that runs the risk of them developing further down
You
that.
just supported what. you
Yeah.
said. You literally just.
because we
supported what
have
you
like a
said.
natural transition, which is a canal, the bridge. Because I don't think anybody looks at that area and says, oh, well, those two houses that's the character of, like,
See,
that's a business
I
area.
do. I drove north on North Main. I go over the canal and I come into 3 homes or 4 homes, 5 homes that are still residential in character. And when you
Inclusive
look,
of the kitchen store?
yeah. I mean, it's a kitchen. If somebody in the LOR, you can still be the kitchen store,
All right,
but you're creating residential opportunities. And I think that's a very important.
So why don't we do this? Cause you make some good, everybody's got some good points and, I think this, there's a deeper dive, obviously. So I would like to have this be a workshop. I think this is something that, everybody gather their thoughts, just even some bullet points and kind of where you want to go with this, I think would be great. So, we all get talking points before the workshop. To consider,
and then
Okay.
there's some cleanup, I mean.
yeah,
Can I make a suggestion?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and I know Steve, we had, remember that big list going way back about sort of flukes in the code, and this goes to a discussion that I had with you earlier today that we would like to bring up, rather than have it be in your report, because I think it's so timely about, the ordinance tracking.
Yep.
Possibility for us, to clean up our code. And, why don't you, let me just hit a pause button. John, do you want to just chime in quick? And then I want Dorothea to talk about that, because I think it'll help us sort through a couple
If
things.
we're gonna have a workshop, I'd suggest we have some larger maps, maybe something we could look at.
Yep,
And maybe even some different scenarios.
yep.
This one, if
Yeah,
we did
we can maybe provide for overlays,
Yeah,
which I think would be good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, John.
So,
Yeah, so I think a workshop, but also getting overall to the code, we had some huge sheet of sort of all these inconsistencies and things that kind of weren't kind of teeing up throughout the code. So Dorothea was talking with, I'm blanking.
General code.
Yeah, general code. You think I could remember that name? About a service that they have.
Yeah, the representative of general code, reached out to me because we were discussing, they also are part of our Laserfish program. So he's a rep with that. And as we were talking, he said the village really hasn't done a recodification in over 20 years. And it is recommended to go through that process to make sure everything jives, everything is fluid. I know we did it in Webster, and in that process, it brings up the inconsistencies in the code as we're looking like the low hanging fruit and things we find. They help find that stuff and help clean it up. There's also other services that they can embed in there, which I think Jeff was talking about, or you were talking about, where you can go back and see the previous reiteration of that code. I think it's beneficial and it's something, I know it wasn't in the budget this year.
$14,000.
Correct, but it is something that
It's big. It's a
it
big
does
deal.
need to be done.
Yeah, but we need that 14,000 for that Bobcat.
You can mess with the code and you-
Oh, boy, here we go.
I think there's a way of getting where we need to get. But I do think the board should consider this, highly consider this, especially if you're looking at the zoning and you're looking at all these pieces.
And this hasn't been done to the code for how many years?
I would say over 20.
Over 20 years. So I think, we're kind of due. To have, essentially, they just track, they find all of the redundancies, all of the sort of the hits.
Amendments that have happened.
Yeah,
Correct.
and so, my mind for $13,000 in terms of what it would mean for staff and employee, everybody. I think it's a good investment to really clean up our code, organize it properly. It'll bring clarity. And also gives us that working point if we are looking at changing some things in the code. Now we're starting with something that's formatted properly with, inconsistencies
Correct,
addressed.
and they'll bring those inconsistencies and things to the board to review.
Yeah,
They work very closely. And I'm just gonna put it straight out, they're code people, they know code.
that's all they do.
It's,
They live for code.
they love their code. So, I mean,
So she-
it's,
This has been on the agenda for 5 or 6 years. And we've never had the time to devote to all of those little inconsistencies between the zoning code that was adopted and the other provisions of the code that were really not looked at the time we adopted the zoning code. And there's probably nobody other than these people that can catch all of the inconsistencies.
Because that's what they do.
And those findings would make great workshop. You take a block of code section and how do we tweak these?
Mm-hmm.
The red flags.
Yeah,
They have like the red flags up.
Excuse me 1 second. What was that, Jeff?
They actually recommend how to fix it.
Oh, well, we like that too.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's.
Wait, there's more.
That's what I read.
Yeah.
And
Got to
then,
spoon feed us.
yeah, they
No,
do, and
okay.
as I said, I worked with them with Webster and they were in that recodification process. And you actually, they worked with the building inspector and other assigned people to, and then it comes for their piece and they go through, it's a process.
Mhm.
And it's not a quick process, but it's a solid process.
And it's thorough.
Yeah, it needs to be done.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
the feature that I really like is I think $350 or $390 a year, and that's the track back.
Mhm.
Where you can look back at the code and see what the prior iterations were,
Oh, for $390 a year?
something like that, yeah.
And their payment schedule is very good because you don't own the whole nut up front. They've got percentages at different delivery
And
points.
this is our code needs us desperately.
Yeah.
So do we have to, I'm sure there's other code companies, do we have to put that out to bid or anything like that?
There's no other.
There is-
Yeah.
There isn't, okay.
They're kind of the.
And they,
There's weird areas where they only have like.
Wow.
they are the code people. I think
They are.
there used to be only a couple villages that held out that I knew, or very. few
Everybody's
that
general code though.
Update their own code and they stopped because
Yeah.
general code knows code.
Yeah.
And there's no other way to put
You
it.
would think with chat GPT now, people
Well-
get into the business,
I was immediately thinking,
right?
that is a business that
Yeah.
now
Yeah,
can be broken into.
totally.
Yeah.
What a whole other opening for
But
that.
Yeah,
right now,
This is where we
But right
are.
now,
where you were at,
is it?
my recommendation, and just having been here the time I've been here. and
So what do you need from us?
You need general code to do this.
So do you want a motion here?
uh,
What was that? Someone's chomping at the bit.
So I would request the board approve the proposal, and let me sign the contract and get this started.
Okay.
And I can also have, Todd would be happy to come in afterwards and.
I think that'd be great.
With the board, so he.
I think that would be very good for him.
I'll make a motion that we authorize Dorothea to engage General Code for their proposal for codification services for the quoted price of $13,995.
For a second.
second with discussion.
Okay, discussion?
So just, Dorothy, I'm trying to figure out where in the original budget would this allocate?
It ends up under clerk, under legal.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
right
figured
now
it was
you
in clerk
have,
somewhere.
right now you have about 5,000 in there, and depending on the breakout of payments, I'll have to come to the board and request them move probably from contingency, depending where
Okay.
I can see some free money. We're early in the budget.
Okay.
So we might do our favorite, let it be negative and see what it does.
Yeah, until the year end, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, any additional discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Marshall,
Uh,
trustee Wells,
Aye.
trustee Limbeck,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer, motion
Yes,
passes.
okay,
Thank you.
baby gets new code. Or cleaned up code, I guess.
so that was just one big continuing conversation.
Yeah, so
Okay.
your conversation is gonna go to
I was gonna
a
say, that's gonna, yeah.
special meeting,
So-
special workshop.
I wouldn't put any move for the floor, but there is limited ability to do retail on the first floor, which makes 0 sense in the LOR.
Oh, we're back to that. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
What?
You can't
I
have
agree.
you can't have a retail first floor establishment in the LOR, which makes no sense.
Okay, so we can.
Yeah.
Put it on that action item
Let's
list.
throw it out.
A big
So are
list.
we gonna put that on our workshop?
Yes, it's already
schedule?
been put down as an action item.
By
That
notice.
was-
A good spot.
Somehow I thought I closed it out with an action item. We were gonna do a workshop.
You just came right back.
I know.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
we're starting the workshop now. It's unclear. Okay. So moving along at a rapid snail's pace, treasurer's report.
Correct, I have a bill pay for the board. Is there any questions related to the?
It's just the part where I ask you all this.
Oh, do we have anything more for Jeff on anything? We do.
If you want to talk about the the public comment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we do need you.
You wanna do that now?
How, do you have a lot going on?
If you agree to everything I want, yeah, no, we'll be quick.
Well, it's agreeable.
Also, I
It's
thought
it's
we
only
already-
gonna be a few minutes and then I'd like to circle back. Thank you.
I can be quick. Okay,
I have no questions on the bill pay. I will make a motion to approve as presented.
Second,
okay, trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Marshall, trustee Welts.
Aye.
Trustee Coe,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
how about me?
Oh,
Yeah,
aye.
you're like, you gave me choice.
Wow, trustee Limbeck,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Oh, there we go. Aye.
motion
Okay,
passes.
what's next?
Okay, next thing, this is just cleaning up the books. I would like to close the Southern Wood project and transfer any remaining funds left from that project to the Sutherland Street. And as well, I'm gonna request from the board a fund balance transfer to cover the project right now for expenses until we can submit to CHIPS for reimbursement. You can't get the money from CHIPS up front. You have to wait and do the project. So obviously, they're gonna be negative if you approve the bill pay. So I need to be able to transfer the funds to cover that.
Until we get the chips.
Yeah, it'd be a due to, due from, and then when the money comes
Yeah.
in, it'll.
Make a motion as presented.
Second,
Where's confidence in it?
Okay, roll call please.
Trustee Limbeck,
aye.
trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Do we know how long it's gonna, well, I don't even know when that's that.
Yeah.
12 months?
What,
Oh,
the
chips?
chips,
Oh,
no,
chips.
mostly that don't hold me to it, but I do anticipate I will see the funds back in this budget year.
Yes, it's not that bad actually for chips.
Okay.
Next up.
Annual financial report. So we've been submitted to the comptroller. Last year is officially over. There'll be no more expenses, Dave. General fund had a surplus 237,948.
You were very close.
I was, what did I say, 240?
Yeah.
I was close.
You get that dartboard out.
Dorothea, when we look through them, for the results of operations, in this particular instance, when you see 531.26, that is in fact what we spent after all the transfers were moved off.
Everything was done.
And the same is true with 25, right?
Right.
And then this is what you ultimately will use to help support next year's budget rather than, I mean, to some degree.
To some degree, it actually goes into fund balance, and then this is where the board has discussion.
Yeah.
Should we take some of that fund balance and put it into reserves? Should we hold it? Should we cover, the
Should we get the
codification?
Bobcat?
Should you add the Bobcat? this is where if you want to steal from fund balance, or like in past years, it worked out where we didn't go ahead and take from fund balance, we let the budget go through when we bought the leaf machine, and we actually were able to cover
Yeah.
within the budget we proposed. So sometimes, I know we don't like to see a negative, but sometimes it does pay to have that negative, because at year end, when I move in funds, I might be able to cover it. So it's not such a hit to fund balance.
Yep.
Okay. Sewer was anticipated at a loss, and that was $7,045, which was much better than we had budgeted to do.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm very happy with last year, and I hope the board is too.
Well, thanks for all your good work on that. That was
Good work.
big deal.
Also, all the bond work that's been going on.
Yes, the bond, by the way,
Yeah,
that bond closed, the money has been received. You will be seeing in the next bill pay, we will be paying for the chassis for the new trucks. Last from Jason told me, the rest of it won't be ready until December, January.
December and then almost a year.
Yeah. Yeah, any
Is that
remaining,
on their end, the fact that we've already ordered it, it's just not
Yeah.
here.
yeah, it's on their end.
We're number 12 right now for the first.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the remaining funds from that bond and I'm gonna put it into a CD.
Yeah.
So I'll be putting it probably in a more longer term than I normally do. Maybe 3 months.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Well, you know me. I'm
3
gonna
months,
go.
yeah, that's fine.
So, okay, so just an update on that. In addition, let's move on. Well, I guess you could vote to accept the annual financial report.
Make a motion to accept the annual financial report as submitted.
I second.
Okay, trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes. Grant resolution, the mayor was able to secure a grant through 170.
Sorry, just real quick on the bond. I think actually, given the rate that we were able to get, we might be able to match on
With district,
with the CD. I think it's gonna be awesome, which is perfect.
which is great, which
That's
helps, the interest we get helps to pay off that. Yeah, we were very, very lucky on that rate.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. The grant resolution, that's Lunsford.
Yeah, Jen Lunsford.
Yeah, 170,000, these are grant projects, I need. What do I need? Wow, I need resolution for the grant projects as well as seeker, that is a type 2, I talked to Jeff on it. If the board can make that resolution
So
for the grant.
So the resolution is to, how do you want it?
Project,
To accept the projects for the 170.
make that resolution I provided to the board and
You guys have it?
declare the type 2.
Anybody want to make that?
Vice versa. I'll make.
Start with a type 2.
Yeah.
Start with a type 2.
For the, as a type 2 seeker action, the resolution authorizing state municipal facilities program application for $170,000.
Second.
Okay.
No.
Okay, trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes. And you already did general code, so I'm a very happy lady. I'm done.
No, don't we have to make a motion to accept the grant, or is it just?
You made it both.
Oh, you did them both?
Yeah.
You did. I missed the second part. Okay, thank you. One and done. Love it. That's it for you? Done?
Except for minutes, that's it for me.
Okay, why don't we,
2 minutes real quick.
yeah, we need to
Okay.
speak, I'm trying to think if I would like an attorney-client session, regarding,
Oh, there it is.
concerns.
Doesn't matter. Very much.
Yeah, no, it's not an executive, you're right. So we need an attorney-client session, so I make a motion to adjourn briefly for an attorney-client session.
Second.
Okay, trustee Linda.
Aye.
Trustee Coe.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall. Mayor Plummer. Motion passes.
Okay. Yeah, so this is going to be a private session. If anybody wants to, we're gonna just come back and do minutes,
Yeah, otherwise it's done.
Not real exciting. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Stay here. You can or?
You will.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. Okay. I make a motion, we open the meeting.
Second.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Wilkes.
Aye.
Trustee Co.
Aye.
Trustee Linda.
Aye.
Mayor Palmer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Trustee liaison reports. John, do you have anything you wanna? chime
No,
in on?
I did my Bobcat speech.
Okay, we've heard about the Bobcat. I just want to say the HPV had, I think 11 items. And they transacted business in, less than an hour and a half. They were highly efficient, really, worked so well with the residents. I reached out to the chair and, you know, some of the members to just, you know, really thank them for taking the time to work through things with the residents and, everybody really felt that they were heard and could move business forward. So, it was great. So, next up, do you want to do member items and then minutes? How's that? Any member items? Not for anybody?
Consider me.
Where are we with the RG&E budget, not budget workshop? Then what are we gonna, not RG&E, DOT. We're gonna sit down and hammer through all the things we wanted to ask the DOT for.
Oh, yes, that was supposed to be, yeah,
That's a
second
budget.
work.
I think that budget item should take priority over the zoning idea.
You mean the worst?
No,
workshop?
You mean the workshop?
Hang on, you guys, hang on, let's, Dorothea, here.
Okay, I was requested to reach out to
David Cruzy
Cruzy. He's scheduled to come next week.
Okay.
for a workshop
That's what's
to
Thank you.
get us
We're on
going.
right now.
And that
Yeah.
workshop is
The
next
ninth.
Wednesday.
Thank you.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah, is that a new workshop, right?
12?
Yeah. 12.
It's a new workshop, yeah.
Okay.
No, and I guess he's looking, he's excited because
He
That's what-
responded rather quickly.
yeah, well, that's great. No, I'm glad because he really knows a lot about what's been going on. Any other member items?
How heavy of a lift would it be? You know, if this is a you question or Alexandria. For these, like the workshop meeting, all that to be added to our Outlook as a calendar invite?
Oh, boy.
Alexandria will be back,
I'll talk to Alexandria.
Okay.
He's at-
Because that issue, like I have like my own.
Oh, yeah, so you
with
get
this
the
one,
reminder,
So I have a
yeah.
whole month, but I'm
Yeah.
missing these reminders.
Yeah, I'll talk to her.
Okay.
But actually, she could just generate a regular meeting.
I think she could.
She can just generate a regular meeting
Yeah.
notice.
Yeah.
Can you put that down as an action?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, no, that'd be helpful, I know.
Do we need to approve your fee schedule?
No, what you're looking at is the organizational meeting.
Okay,
These are minutes.
got it.
Three facts.
I didn't have anything from the Arboretum. They've been out there working through me, through
Yeah,
Jason. It seems to have been fairly smooth.
and they've been mowing and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
pretty smooth so far. Everybody's working together. So that's good.
Yeah, it's been tough for them to mow because of the rain, because of the mud up there, you know, so they have to kind of time it.
What was even base, there's some, like,
Well, so
or some point on that?
so there's two things that are really going on right now. One, trying to figure out what a master plan might look like in a strategic plan for the property, right? There's a degree by which, for me, I suggest to them, if you can create material for us to then bring back. You have the public meeting, it seemed like everybody jived, it's just a matter of getting some work done. So we could go farm that out, but it's gonna cost money. We have a community group that cares, that seems to agree with what everybody generally is thinking. If somebody can create an outline document and then we can hammer it through, modify it the way we want, that's kind of how the path forward, I think, is gonna happen. That way, we're not doing that work, we got a lot of other work, but it's, you know, an organization that's clearly, you know, dedicated. That's one hand. As far as the invasives are concerned, you know, they're thinking about it too, and like they did last year, they said, hey, what are you doing for invasives? What you put in the budget? And I think it was either 7 to 10 grand. And I said, look, we all know invasives need to get done. You did good work last time by bringing to us a proposal for invasive remediation. There's some stuff already in the works. So I said, if you got something that you want to get done, that you kind of vetted out, see what it looks like, bring them before us, we'll talk about it. If we want to go in a different direction, we will. But the work that's getting done to bring it forward is not coming through me, it's coming through them, right? And I think that's currently the best avenue, because we don't have the bandwidth to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's where we are with that.
Okay.
So anyway.
No, thank you for that. Okay, so then minutes,
Sure.
okay, first set is what, May?
May 12th
12th.
organizational.
Yep.
Make the motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Oh, we got a conversation? No, okay.
Okay, trustee Lynn,
Aye.
trustee Co.
Aye.
Trustee
Lovely
Wills.
chatting down there.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Palmer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, then next up is the May 20th.
No, May 12th regular meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I went right past it.
I'll make
May
a
12th.
motion for May 12th regular meeting as submitted.
Second.
Okay, trustee Co.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Mayor Palmer.
Aye.
Motion passes. Now May 20th.
Oh, yeah, now May 20th. Any,
I make a motion to approve the May 20th, village workshop meeting, board workshop meeting.
Second.
Okay, trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Wills.
Aye.
Trustee Co.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Mayor Palmer.
aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, anything else?
I got
I
nothing.
make a motion, we adjourn?
Second.
Trustee Marshall.
Aye.
Trustee Wilks. Trustee Co.
Aye.
Trustee Limbeck.
Aye.
Mayor Palmer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thanks, everybody.
Tennis at like 4:30.